mom deserves less? You have a mom, right? You think she deserves less?
Of course.
Why does she deserve less?
No, I'm saying I have a mom, yeah.
And you say women deserve less. Your mom is a woman.
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything?
You came out of deserves less. You came out of a woman.
Here's the difference.
You wouldn't be alive without a woman.
Well, here's the difference. How old are you guys? Where's your father?
Where's your father, you dumbass? Where's your father?
Where's your dad?
Where's your mother?
What the hell is going on here?
Fucking normal.
I'll tell you this, my mom wasn't breathing around, downtown Miami at 15. The hell? Bro, what the hell's going on here, man?
It's a very interesting thing called the blow test. How often was your wife giving you a blow? If the answer is anything but like whenever I want, the moment that stopped was when your relationship stopped. The moment the blow became a chore job is the moment that she is no longer attracted to you and she's losing respect for you.
So true. I think his wife taught him that. Women talk about that all the time. It's just surprising to hear a man actually be aware and admit that. But it's actually accurate. Yeah, I agree.
I must be doing my job.
Do you get it whenever you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think people should be married. I think people should be husband and wife. I think we need to go back to having a nuclear family. I think kids need to start seeing their fathers come home to their mothers and their mothers loving on their fathers. And I think kids need to see repair in the household. That's what I think. I think that's what's going to make us stronger as a people. When we have good examples. The reason why women don't know how to be traditional women is because they haven't seen it. I think of my mom. My mom is a 6-figure earning traditional woman. My dad doesn't eat if my mom doesn't cook. He is spoiled rotten, and that works for them. That is their dynamic. My mom, she cooks, she cleans, she works, she does a lot of things. And my dad's amazing too, but my mom does a lot. So for me, I think that having that union is powerful. And I hate that people are so afraid of it now. Is it always perfect? No, but life isn't. Relationships aren't. So I believe that people should be married to people that they actually like, creating kids inside of wedlock. That's what I think. And I think life will change when we start to do that.
So there's a lot of women that scream that men really don't like women like that.
That's also a belief that if you choose it, it becomes true for you. I don't have that experience. I feel very valued and loved by the men in my life. And even when I was single and I was dating, I have felt very valued by the men that I dated.
So if I get angry with my daughter and I have a temper, she will check me because I dealt with the situation in a way that shouldn't have been dealt with.
Wait, your daughter can check you?
She will say that. I teach her to say, like, if you feel like mommy was being real mean, raised my voice, had a temper.
It makes sense. The father isn't in the home, right?
No, not.
And this is why it's very detrimental to kids when they are being raised by single moms, because why does a child have authority over the mom? That's nonsensical. The child at a very young age should not have any authority over the parents, because those are the years where they need mental development, physical development. They don't need to be the parent in the home. They need a parent. In a 2-parent household, if the child isn't listening to the mother, the father steps into place and then corrects the child.
Right, yeah.
And then also corrects the child and say, hey, don't speak to your mother that way, or I'm going to whoop you. No more PlayStation. No going out with your friends. There's going to be some type of disciplinarian action that takes place. But basically, y'all swapped. You started playing the child's role and the child started playing the parent's role. And that's what leads to the destruction of the youth. This is how children end up having a problem with authority, because in their younger ages, they are playing the authority role. So then they get pulled over by a cop. They're talking back to the cop, not listening. Now they're in handcuffs and they're in jail because they didn't comply and give their driver's license, because they felt like, well, I don't even listen to my mom. I got to correct my mom. What makes you think that I'm going to listen to you?
No,
You're not my mother.
A woman's world needs to be shaken up because you men are not doing your job right. Some of you have forgotten what it means to actually lead a woman. You've stopped creating mystery, excitement, and tension, and now you wonder why she's bored out of her mind. Putting a roof over her head, paying the bills, that's not romance. That is your responsibility. That's the bare minimum. You think that's good enough to keep her inspired, to keep her craving you? No, because women don't fall in love with comfort. They fall in love with the emotion. When was the last time you made her heart race? The last time you did something that made her feel alive? Are you taking her dancing? Are you going to concerts? Are you holding her close, letting her feel your energy, your confidence, and your dominance? Do you ever surprise her? A note, a simple look, a moment that reminds her that she's still the woman you chose every single day. Do you defend her when somebody disrespects her? Do you protect her peace? Or do you make her question if she's even safe with you? Women crave romance, intensity, and adrenaline. They need high emotion spikes, that rush that makes them feel seen, desired, and alive. You want to know why?
Where do single men between the ages of 28 and 40 go on Saturdays? And I don't mean like a specific restaurant or a specific location. I mean, generally speaking. Are they at the gym? Are they at a bar watching football? Are they on a hike? Are they at home doing additional work? Are they at the driving range? Are they getting brunch with their friends? What does a 28 to 40-year-old single man's typical Saturday look like? Because I can tell you what a Saturday for a 28 to 40-year-old single woman looks like. As part of my fall of outdoors, I'm trying to integrate experiences where I get to meet the male species. Every time that I've tried to do that, the places that I end up tend to be proliferated with 24-year-old men screaming at a television about football. For example, my Saturday looks like this. I wake up, I take my dog on a walk, I try to get in a gym class of some sort, Pilates, some kind of stretching class, I take a shower, make a cup of coffee, make my breakfast, and then I try and do about 2 hours of either work or personal, errands. And then from about 12 p.m. until approximately 5 p.m. I try and do something social with my friends. We'll go to a bar to watch a football game, go to the beach for the afternoon, whatnot. And then I typically stay in on Saturday night, order in DoorDash, watch a movie, have a glass of wine, and go to bed. That's the male equivalent of that, so I know where to find you guys during the period of 12 to 5.
Trust me, what she says will shock you.
Maybe we would have more successful marriages if society stopped making women believe that serving and submitting to their husband is weakness, instead of understanding it as part of God's design for marriage. That's why so many marriages struggle now. People are building relationships on feelings, attraction, convenience, and control instead of building them on God, purpose, and sacrifice. A biblical marriage is not about who has more power. It's about two people understanding their God-given roles and honoring them. When a husband truly follows God, leadership stops looking like control and starts looking like sacrifice, protection, responsibility. A man who is led by God doesn't have authority. He understands that one day he will answer to God for how he loved, led, and covered his wife. And when a wife truly follows God, submission stops looking like weakness and starts looking like trust. Not because she's less valuable, but because she understands the power of building with her husband instead of competing against him. The Bible never said the wife was beneath the husband. God made Eve out of Adam's rib for a reason. She is his helper, his partner, his favor. Scripture says,
Here's some crazy research for you. So, a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner. Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments. So please, drop it in the comments.
We don't really give pretty women a pass like we used to. We're looking for pretty energy. Like men are willing to forego the pretty face if the energy is right. And we don't want a 8, 9, 10 in the face, but a 2 or 3 in the energy. We're no longer impressed with what you didn't do yourself. I mean, you hit the DNA lottery, but it doesn't have value when there's nothing behind it. There's no character. Pretty gets you in the door. It doesn't keep you in the house.
Yeah. What is your opinion of women? What is my personal opinion of women? Well, I don't really think that's even relevant to the point I just made. I would say that it's all pretty statistically backed, right? So we take a look at, all the stats that are released by the online dating apps, and how the bottom 80% of women are going for the top 20% of the profiles on there. So even that's enough to kind of justify that hypergamy is a real thing, and that there is something going on that's horribly wrong with society. What do you think that is? Well, it's like I just said, it's female hypergamy.
This guy did a video about what I was wearing in the gym. He edited my video to put clothes on me.
Whoa. Hey, long time no see. I did it again. Dude, these women are mad that I'm putting clothes on them. Not that I'm taking clothes off of them. That's how perverted our society is they're mad that I'm putting clothes on them. You got these simps saying, no, please be as legally naked in public as possible. That's so tough.
You know, you look at the clip between, the young ladies and Myron, and, it's funny until it's not, right? These modern women, they think they're big and bad enough. They think they're grown enough to do anything. There's certain places that you just shouldn't be. And that's what men keep saying. There's certain places and certain things that you should not be involved in. But here you are involving yourself in those things. And a man can't talk to you, especially in a relationship. A man cannot talk to you about the things that you should not be doing, the places that you should not be. Well, I used to do this all the time, and you shouldn't have been doing it. Like, say, if somebody is if I get on that highway today and I'm going, let's say the speed limit is 65, I'm going 8. I'm going 95. In Texas, at least where I am, you go for, I think it's 90 or something like that, you're going to jail. No ifs, ands, or buts. Automatically, you will spend the night in jail. That's the law. That's the rule. It does me no good to go out there and be like, well, everybody else is doing it. But, I do this all the time. Right, stupid. And you shouldn't be doing it. You weren't supposed to be doing it in the first place because you see clearly that sign right there says not to do it. Even my dad, hey, don't do that. Watch out, my dad, we used to be going through town, and we get to a certain part of town, and he'd be like, no, you gotta watch it. There's the police here. And I'd be like, Dad, you've been telling us since we kids, like since we started driving. You've been telling us since we started driving that if we know that, we know how to look and see, right? It is your decision. If you get if you get a ticket, I'm not gonna pay for it. You're grown, and you have to take that on. You have to be responsible for that. But what these young ladies will do is they'll go out there despite people telling them, hey, stop doing that. Oh, we used to always do that. You weren't supposed to be doing it in the first place. But now that somebody's bringing it to your attention, you're not supposed to be doing it, and you continue to do it. And so when you get in trouble, you got to take that on yourself. You got to be accountable for that. Modern women don't want to do that. They want to be able to get on the mic and holler and scream and do all that other nonsense. And when they do actually get in trouble, then they want a man to bail them out.
Hello?
Hello, hey. What's going?
Chilling. I ain't doing shit. What's up?
Nothing. I just got a lot on my mind. Can you talk right now?
Yeah, what's good?
So, hold on. Let me go outside real quick.
Okay.
So, I'm just going through a lot and stuff like that. And it's the 4th or whatever. I'm trying to ask you a question. Like, I gotta pay my rent, and these kids don't get to school. And I'm just going through a lot right now. What you going like? I don't know.
What you mean you going through a lot?
I can't pay my rent. Like, I was supposed to pay it on the 1st, and then I couldn't pay it. Like, I was trying to see if you got like a couple of dollars or something to me out.
A couple of dollars? What you mean? How much?
Shit, really just like 500. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing.
500? I just had to pay my rent.
Oh, so what you saying? Like, these kids going back to school, like, you can't help me out?
I ain't got it right now.
What you mean you ain't got it?
I ain't got it. Just like you ain't got it, I ain't got it.
Man, get off my phone, man. I'm finna block you, man.
You gonna block me?
Yes, because I don't got time. You can't help me out or nothing. I gotta pay my rent.
Shit, help me out. You need to help me out, too. Shit, it's vice versa.
Bye.
Submission is easy when your man is doing exactly what you want him to do. But the real test comes in when your preference is one thing and his judgment is something entirely different. We want leverage. We want veto power. We want to have the final say. We want the reassurance that we're never completely at the mercy of somebody else's decision. But that's where things stop making sense. Because women say, we want a man to lead. But leadership isn't really being tested if your man agrees with everything you say. Leadership is tested when he doesn't, when he sees something differently, when he makes a decision you wouldn't have made and you have to go with it. When your instincts say go left, for example, but his judgment is telling you stay right. And that's exactly where a lot of us struggle. Because a lot of times what we call submission is actually conditional leadership. That's keeping one hand on the steering wheel. And that's not what submission looks like. If you trust your man to be the leader, then you trust that he is capable as well. Because leadership becomes meaningless if the leader only gets to lead when he agrees with you. And if I only trust your leadership when it aligns with my preferences, then I'm not really following your leadership at all. I'm following mine. That's the tension a lot of us wrestle with. Because a lot of women say they want leadership, when what we actually truly want is the comfort of knowing that we can take it back whenever we want. That
Gentle reminder for the woman that cooks and cleans all day and takes care of the kids. You're not making a sacrifice. If you were single, you would still have to do the same thing because you still have to eat and you still have to clean your house and you would still have to go to work and pay your own bills and take care of the kids if you have them. See how awful that sounds? It's almost like we should appreciate the efforts that our person is doing regardless of whether they would have to do it as a single person or not. And for a lot of men, they have to work more hours or work jobs they may not like as much because that's what brings in more money to provide for the family. Otherwise, he could work a job that pays less, live a simple life, and have more at the end of the month. Because having a family and a woman in your life is expensive, which I don't think it should be expensive, but there's a lot of women that have all sorts of financial demands out of a man. Why is it that women should get appreciation for the things they do in relationships, but men aren't given the same appreciation?
Expect things from men, but men can't expect anything from women. Like, I seriously want you to stop and think about one thing that it's socially acceptable for a man to expect from a woman. Like, can you think of a tangible thing where if I got on here and I was like, hey, I think in a relationship that women should blah, 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 that wouldn't be problematic or red pill? Because from what I notice, it's like, it's okay if a woman expects men to pay for dates, but that man can't expect the woman to put out. It's okay if women expect men to pay all their rent, but if he expects her to cook and clean, he's a filthy misogynist. Women can expect a man to facilitate an environment in which they can become a stay-at-home mother. However, that man cannot expect her to become a stay-at-home mother.
I mean, he's not wrong. I also don't understand this influencer thing of having like your blanket around you, having like a binky around you when you're doing it feels weird to me. Like, it feels like you're like, is it supposed to be like we're intimately, cuddling and talking? I don't know what that's about. Yeah, look, there is a very strange double standard around right now when it comes to what's acceptable for a woman to demand of a man in relationship versus a man to demand of a woman in relationship or expect in a relationship. And I think that is a function of having been, told for the last decade or more that, women, are girl bosses and they're all amazing princesses and they're all perfect exactly the way they are and beautiful at any size and beautiful whatever it is that they're doing, and men just kind of suck no matter what. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is the reality of things. I mean, I think I can't think of any answer to that question. I was trying to think, as someone who argues for a living and is used to seeing both sides of things, what would be socially acceptable to get on the internet and say a man can expect from a woman?
I think it's going to be childbirth. I think that's going to be their
because
answer.
There would be many women choose not to have children, to just find a woman as well. Oh, what are women? Birthing chambers for you? Is this the Matrix that their job is to just give birth to? They're there to hold your seed. Is that what? No, there would be no acceptable answer. Which, by the way, tells you.
As a man in an intimate relationship, they do not appreciate an ambitious, driven, successful woman.
Yeah, because it fundamentally...
It does not serve them fundamentally.
It also doesn't serve you in the relationship. And I make this very clear. If I go, hey, baby, dinner tomorrow night, 8:30, get dressed and ready. And you're like, ooh, I have a house showing at 8:30. I can't.
You're turned off instantly.
Instantly, you're not my woman. Your devotion meter is going...
Because you want a woman to serve you in all aspects, essentially.
No, yeah. There's a certain component that when you're with a man, you're with that man exclusively. And I think that women go, well, I don't like that. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's okay to feel that way. I want you to recognize how you really desire that for your best interest. And if you can, as a woman, recognize that, you'll start realizing it's my boss or my husband. Someone's telling me what to do. And there's no liberation in the fact that now your 8:30 dinner plans with a person you love is now coming for a guy that needs a paycheck and a quota by a certain time.
What is one thing young women can do better to make themselves more appealing to men who say that the current dating pool of young women is lackluster?
People pick up on the way you speak. I'm not talking about if you sound smart or whatever. I'm saying they will pick up if you curse. They will pick up if you're speaking life over someone. Men hate when women are gossiping. Literally, the fire behind your lips is so powerful. And if you can find a way to harness your tongue in a way that's biblical and you dress appropriately, you don't have everything hanging out, you will attract a different type of guy. Be the type of woman, the godly woman that God needs you to be to attract the man that he made for you.
There's one thing that drains a man faster than anything else in a relationship, and most women do it every single day without realizing. It's not about what you're saying, it's how you're saying it, the tone of voice. A lot of women don't realize they've stopped using that soft, warm voice with their man. Everything comes out sharp.
Yeah.
Complaining about this, nagging about that, bringing up what he didn't do. And when was the last time you said something genuinely positive? Not sarcastic, not backhanded, just appreciative. Most of the time, it's 90% critical and maybe 10% positive, if that. And then we wonder why he seems distant or checked out. That constant negativity, it's draining. Your man craves your softness. Your warmth. He needs to feel like you actually like him.
Unpopular opinion. Modern dating is broken. And while men broke a lot of it, women help build some of it too. And before you come for me in the comments, hear me out. Every time we accept less and said nothing, we set a standard. Every time we chased someone who wasn't chasing us, we taught him it was fine. Every time we stayed in something undefined for 2 years, we showed him there were no consequences. Now, I'm not blaming women. I'm talking to women because there's a difference. The only thing you can actually control in dating is what you accept. And when you raise your standard, when you actually leave what does not deserve you, when you stop negotiating for basic respect like a hostage situation, the whole dynamic changes. Not because you changed him, but because you changed what you were available for. And that is where power eventually lives. Not in fixing him, in knowing your worth well enough to stop trying.
And you'll notice, going back to the clip where he was talking about the BJ test, where the moment she stops doing that for you whenever you want, then she's lost respect for you. And I bet you, and I guarantee you, in a lot of these situations, the man don't even know about it. He had nothing to do with it. She didn't say anything. She'd been online. Modern women, and let me say this. This doesn't absolve men, because some men are just trash, right? Some of these guys, let's say that you're a good guy. Right? But you're not doing some of the things that she would like you to do. You might not get her flowers, and she said, man, I've been asking him to give me flowers for months, and he never does it. Right? Or I've been asking him to go, do this or do that, or get involved in this for months. I understand that frustration, and you have a right to be frustrated. I get it. I understand it. But there's certain things that, what I want to say is, when you want them and you expect a man to continue doing them, then he has to continue doing them, because he's a man. You expect a man to continue being a man regardless of what you want to start and stop doing. Regardless of if he supports it or if he really actually agrees with it, you expect him to be a man. Period. You want safety and security. That man wants intimacy. I don't feel comfortable enough to give it to him. But you feel comfortable enough for him to continue going out every day and busting his behind to make sure that you're comfortable in that nice car and that nice house. Lawn darn near perfectly manicured. Kids in some of the best schools, right? Now, it's not the best school. It might not be the best school, like they might not be going to a private school, But you live in a nice area of town where y'all pay high taxes. Y'all pay high taxes and school taxes and stuff like, and they can walk down the street. Y'all have a school in your neighborhood. They can literally ride their bike, and a lot of kids do. They don't even have to ride the bus. You don't even have to be a car rider. The school is so close. They make neighborhoods like that. But little kids, and then the high school don't be much further. The middle school don't be that much further. So the kid can bike over there. It's pretty safe. You don't really have to worry about that. That man has you in a neighborhood like that. But of course, he got to go out every day and work his behind off to make sure that you have all that stuff. But I really don't feel like giving you the things that you want. And then you're going to wonder why men are opting out of marriage.
Am I dating this right?
No. Doing this right.
Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Dating advice.
Are there any single Christian men left in the church? I genuinely never see them.
Say, one, if you're a guy that's watching this and you go to church, or maybe you're in spaces where you're looking for a wife or looking for a girlfriend, don't be afraid to shoot your shot. I know a lot of girls out there who go and they're like, these guys don't want to talk to anyone. So guys, be bold, have a conversation. There's a lot of girls out there who are looking to be talked to and looking to be interested in.
And you know how we know this? We're gonna take this opportunity right now. If you're a single guy or a single girl, why don't you go ahead and throw your name in the chat, in the comment section right now. And if you see someone that looks interesting, send them a little message. Be like, hey, how's it going? Shoot them a DM, and then let's see what happens.
And let us know what happens.
The men are right. We need to start dressing more modestly in the gym.
No, just put a shirt and pants on.
Oh my God, shut the
And she commented on your video saying, she's the woman in the clip. Thank you for saying this. All for his glory, right? Yeah, because his glory wants you posting underwear pictures of yourself in the gym. Do Christian women like you just ignore this modesty verse in the Bible or something? Training all covered up, something you've tried before, meaning putting a shirt and pants on, makes you feel anxious because it's hot, sweaty, and irritable. But going to the gym dressed as legally naked as possible doesn't make you feel anxious.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Always the same deflection of, it's just a joke, it's just a... No, it's not. There's tens of thousands of angry females in your comments mad about the fact that I struck a nerve of truth, and now they need to call their father and apologize.
If I told you that I've been divorced 3 times, what does that make you think about me? Be honest. Does it mean that I'm a failure? That I'm a quitter?
I think it means that your expectations of marriage are unrealistic. I think it means that you believe that you have to have the exact right person in order for you to find fulfillment within a relationship. I think it means that you're unable to tolerate the hard season in order to get to the good season. I think it means that you think that the hard season is going to last forever. I think it means that you think that love fades and can't come back. I think it means that you place fault in the individual that you ended up choosing instead of placing that fault in your mindset. I think it means that you believe in love as some sort of Disneyland fantasy world, and you really continue to believe in that, hence marriage after marriage, you're still trying, but at the same time, you're failing to see that that Disney World love does not exist. That is a made-up story. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think?
Ask everyone to rate their own looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7.
I would say like an 8.
I would say like an 8. I'd say 10.
I would say a 5 on a bad day and a 6.5 on a great day.
I know you fucking
But
lying.
sometimes I'm in the mirror, I'm like, you're a 10, man, because it's all about the mindset.
I would say a 9.
I think I'm a 10.
10? Okay, what about you?
A 5 or 6.
I would say 8. There's always room for improvement.
Why don't average looking women, why don't they think they're average? What do you think 100,000 men would rate you on average?
Probably 7.
7-ish.
I don't know. I would assume that I'm their type. So like a 10, I don't know.
Guess the top 5 countries with the least submissive women.
The United States.
United States is number 1 on the list.
It's obvious.
In the US, dating comes with terms and conditions.
Canada?
Canada is number 4 on the list.
What am I supposed to do?
In Canada, they have high gender equality and independence metrics.
We're going to France.
We are going to France because it's number 2 on the list.
I can tell.
Challenging you is flirting in France.
Germany?
You're good. Germany is number 3 on the list.
Germans are just tough people in general.
If it's wrong, you'll hear immediately.
Australia.
Australia is number 5 on the list.
Wait, did I just go 5 for 5?
In Australia, they're chill but not to be played with.
I'm not trying to play with them.
But there are men out there that have no attention from women. No, it's actually more in reverse. All right. Again, I always say the loneliest person is a single man.
My homegirls that's sitting at the house knocking on 40, that she is not lonelier than these fellas.
And this is one of the reasons why the rate of is higher amongst men than women. But at the end of the day, there are much more lonely men who can do nothing about they can't do nothing about it right this minute.
Not even from a dramatic place, but maybe from a depressed place. How do men look at that? Because, you know, this day and age, we're all going through something.
Honey, you are freaking deluded.
For so many years, the rhetoric was all these women are going to end up alone. There's never been so many women that are unmarried without children. And I think this takes back the narrative of like, look at these lives that women are building and look how much happier you can be single than with somebody that is dragging you down and draining your resources.
This idea of unmarried, alone, single, childless women, full of their career, being happy. This is the story I always tell about that, 40-year-old woman who lives in a place like New York City and has the really nice apartment and has the really good job. And, everyone, all of these young women look at her and say, oh, she's got it all. She didn't need a man and she didn't need kids. And inside that woman is rotting.
So you are dating the worst parts of yourself.
Yep.
But once you begin to heal and address the things that's wrong with you, you will start to be a better picker. But you choose it wrong because you're dating from the point of your trauma. You're not dating from the point of your healing.
Because even though I dated wrong, navigated in those spaces, I was in toxic situations, you heal from that.
Pain ain't the only way to learn. You better tell God, like, I don't want to learn through pain anymore.
I agree with you, but
it's not
science...
the only way to learn. And if you keep bouncing from man to man, letting them hurt you, and they leaving residual damage, by the time you find the right man, you gonna be the wrong woman.
Well, I think romance has to start with approach. Someone's got to go up to the other person. I think typically that role has fallen to men. 50% of men say they've never approached, this is Gen Z men, so they've never approached a young woman because they're so scared of rejection or humiliation. Humiliation is the word used there, and I think it's quite telling. Similarly, you have that stat I mentioned before about so many young women actually feeling fear of men their age.
So sad.
It's really sad, and I think, that's obviously going to have a massive knock-on effect. As I mentioned before, we don't have good relationships modeled. I think the way that we look at relationships is very different to the way maybe our grandparents would have looked at relationships, in that maybe they would have seen it more as companionship.
I think that men that go to the gym a lot, like obscenely a lot, like 6 to 7 times of the week, or like breathe, eat, sleep the gym, have small penises. Because why are you there every day? Don't you have hoes to text? Why does the staff know you by name? Like, why are they greeting you like a coworker? Something is off. Like, 3 to 4 days makes sense, but any amount after that, you're overcompensating. Like, you have to be overcompensating for something that you lack, and I know exactly what you lack. Lame. Y'all don't realize that the real riz comes from personality. Like, do y'all know who Jeannie Buss is married to? Jay Moore, a comedian. Because he uses jokes to get inside that multi-million-dollar box. Y'all are worried about the wrong thing. You're worried about muscles. You should be worried about jokes. You think your macros are gonna get you a bad bitch? No. Like, what is your personality outside of protein powder? Like, seriously, what would happen if someone takes your shaker bottles away? Withdrawals? Probably. And that's another thing y'all need to accept. Pre-workout is just cocaine. It is. Honestly, if you go to the gym that much, I think I'm just not your taste. And by not your taste, I don't mean black women. I mean women, period.
It's 2026. We cutting out this bird brain behavior. Out of all activities men can participate in, why is the gym the low frequency activity? Why is the gym small D behavior? But dudes who smoke hookah every weekend, who drink alcohol every weekend, rob, steal, have 10 baby mamas, lie and cheat, that's not low frequency activity, but the gym is. How are you calling pre-workout cocaine, but you're not demonizing the dudes who actually sniff cocaine? You say nothing about the dudes out here smoking hookah like hookah honeys. Nothing to the dudes addicted to fried chicken, pizza, and french fries. And we got dudes addicted to lean and Hennessy, but we say nothing to them. And of course, men can't self-improve nowadays, or that means we don't like women. Not sure what fit man broke your heart, But I'm glad he broke your heart. And I hope you don't get another fit man. You deserve all auntie-built men that's not serious about their health. You know I'm gonna tell the truth and you know I gotta go.
Can we stop villainizing men? Because, like, it's kind of it up for all of us. You know what I mean? Because it's like, we're constantly telling guys, like, you're so toxic. I hate you. You know? But, like, I kind of like men. And, I kind of want, like, a good one to marry me. And if all of the men in the world feel like we hate them, I don't think that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I just feel like we need to be nicer to the guys. Just a thought.
And once again, that's what I was saying. You can submit to the man and do what the man wants and, kind of follow what the man is saying, follow his direction when he's doing what you want. And it's exactly what you want to a T. But let him start, making you mad or doing something that you don't necessarily like or what you don't necessarily agree with. That man could be right and you still don't agree with him. Well, he just didn't take my feelings into consideration. He did. He just decided as the man, with all things considered, this is where we need to go. And you didn't like that. And so now you say, well, you know what? I ain't gonna, like we talked about earlier, he not gonna get any intimacy from me. I'm just gonna say my head hurt. I'm gonna stall and I'm gonna make sure that, he feels it. That's what they do. A man has to continue providing and you don't want to submit. He has to continue working hard to give you all of the stuff that you want and you still don't want to submit. He has to continue taking you on not just a normal vacation, but a very nice vacation, all-inclusive resorts, adults only, and you still, y'all get on that. Okay, man, I've heard it and I've seen it to where, that man take this woman places and she all of a sudden got a headache and they think it's okay. Oh, I have a headache. Oh, my arm hurts, my back hurts, and all this other stuff. But the man still got to provide.
When I hear most women say they want a provider, it just sounds like you just want a nigga to pay your bills.
Well, that's just being a user.
Okay.
I feel like every woman should still have her own. Okay. Like you should still have like your own, whether you're an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Like show them that you have your own brand. That don't necessarily mean like a brand with makeup or clothing, but have your own thing going for yourself. Don't be just thinking you're gonna be laying in a hammock being fed grapes.
Okay.
Bring something to the table in the sense of you being a table, the woman is the table, but you should still bring something in the equation so he can feel like you're not just there to use him. Like, I don't rock with that.
Your wife told the truth anonymously. There's a writer named Ayala. She runs the biggest anonymous relationship polls on the internet. Tens of thousands of respondents. Brutal questions women won't answer publicly. The data is staggering. Her polls keep landing on the same truth. What women say about their marriages and what they admit anonymously are not the same thing. The gap is enormous and growing. I've watched the offline version of this for 25 years. The wife who said she was just tired had decided to leave 18 months ago. The wife who said the marriage was in a rough patch already had a boyfriend. The data Ayala collects anonymously is the same data sitting at your kitchen table. Your wife just hasn't said it out loud yet. She isn't lying. You're just not the person she answers honestly. If you're feeling this gap, DM me consult.
Ladies, is it just me or can we not find men to approach us anymore? It's like, where are all the manly men? I mean, seriously, if this was back in the day, men would be all over me. Like, no man ever comes up to you anymore, asks your name, asks to take you on a date, and actually follows up on it. Like, dating today is so cooked. It's like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Excuse me, man, my phone died. Do you have the time by chance?
Nah. I got a bone to pick with y'all men.
No, you don't. You just got your hair done and you feeling yourself. But it's okay. We're going to entertain it. Your discretion is advised.
Why is it that y'all like to throw out compliments to women, telling them how beautiful they are and how you like the way they look and blah, 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 but you don't ask for their number?
To put it plain and simple, a compliment means nothing to a woman that gets them on a regular nowadays. It only holds value if it's attached to some kind of dollar amount, and I don't understand why. This isn't the early 2000s where you can compliment a woman and she truly appreciate it and then be okay with you starting a conversation. Or we understand that getting this woman's number is going to come with some kind of bills eventually. Let's say you get that number, you hit her up the next day, magically she's going to be short $500 for her rent. And now she's expecting you to come out of pocket for it. And keep in mind, those compliments you was giving her didn't end when you first met her. They continue out through the conversation that y'all was having. And as soon as you disregard that $500 request, now you broke. You ain't shit. Now all those compliments become a weapon for her to use against you because you didn't want to give her $500 of your own money. It sounds a little something like, oh, you like me, you think I'm beautiful, you think you want to be with me, but you don't want to pay my bills? Something like that.
Like, can you tell me why that is? You just want to be nice, throw out a compliment today, or you're scared? Which one is it?
It's definitely not men being scared. Contrary to popular belief, most men are not afraid of rejection. But the fact still remains, the art of getting a woman's number is not what it used to be. And I am wise enough to understand that this is not every woman, and I believe there are some women still out there that are willing to have a conversation with a man that compliments them. However, there are enough breezies screaming from the rooftops saying, my number costs $500 out the gate. Hey, I did a video on this very app where a woman told a young man it was $20 just to speak to her, let alone get her number. But besides all of that, there are generally men that just want to give a compliment. They thought you looked nice in the moment, and they just wanted to let you know. It's a healthy way to push back positivity into our dating ecosystem. Every compliment does not come with a motive. Some are just genuine compliments. And I think as people, we need to do a better job at normalizing compliments and making them go back to what they used to be for us. But you know what? Knowing y'all ain't gonna listen to what I'm saying. I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
If women had access to all of the firearms on Earth that exist, they still don't have the requisite brute force that would be necessary to keep men under control. They just wouldn't. Because men have a monopoly on force. I'll give you an example. If tomorrow men decided to enslave all women would be enslaved. However, if tomorrow all women decided to enslave all men, they do not have the force doctrine and requisite necessary to do so. If you were the head of a prison, would you rather have all male or all female guards? If you were dealing with dangerous prisoners?
I mean, men want to date single mothers.
You know, a lot of men, this has gone on for a while. A lot of men have dated single mothers, and they've learned a lot of things the hard way. So when a man is weighing whether or not he wants to seriously date and try to get involved with a single woman, he has to say, how much risk is in this for me? And for the man, there's a lot of risk. Okay, so the man is trying to form a relationship with the woman. He's trying to form a relationship with her kids. All right. If things don't go well, he not only loses the woman he was trying to build a relationship with, he loses her kids. Okay. Let's imagine things do go well. The woman, when she starts out, she's got kids and she's got a new man. Who's her loyalty to?
Well, the kids.
Okay. The kids have a mommy who's got a new guy. Who is their loyalty to?
Their mommy.
Okay, right. So now this man is in a relationship with 2 or 3 new people, and none of them,
sometimes more.
He's the priority for none of them. But he's supposed to make all of them his priority. See, it's already unbalanced. And then if their daddy is involved and is still alive, that's another factor that doesn't look like it's going to be a win for this guy.
Yeah. But I mean, there are some women who say, my children are well behaved, and they've seen situations where a man has come in, the woman's gotten remarried, and it's been successful. My children are well behaved. I'm not like some, the baby daddy that's hanging around. There's nothing to worry about with regard to that. I mean, it can work.
It can work, and there are relationships where it does work. But there's a lot more of them, unfortunately, where it doesn't work at all. And when it goes bad spectacularly. And see, the man who is willing to try a relationship like this, he has a big heart. That means he's full of love, right?
Yeah.
When it crashes and burns, guess who gets their heart broken?
The dad.
Exactly.
The new dad.
Exactly. So for most guys in this year, 2025, it is a thanks but no thanks.
A man really just got on this app and said we don't call women losers enough. And I couldn't agree more. So I made a list. Coming in at number 1, we have women who make man-hating content. Just because you can't find a man that you want that wants you back and all the ones you date are bums does not make all men losers. You're the loser because you can't get what you want. Right behind that at number 2, we have women who make decenter men content. They are literally the center of your content. If they didn't exist, neither would your platform. And lastly, for the girlies that actually post, are the ones that make first date content. It's in the same vein, it's all really ridiculous, and you're never going to find a man that is going to take you seriously because all of them are going to see your social media and run, as they should.
Yesterday asked me if I think men are smarter than women. Wrong guy to ask. So I said yes. She goes, and we were in a group of people. She goes, why? And I said, buckle up, sweetheart, but I love being a dude because we're so dumb, we're so stupid, that we have to simplify to make sense in our brain and become smart. But you girls are so smart that you overcomplicate. You overthink it, you dig yourself into a hole, and you become stupid. She goes, that doesn't make any sense. Give me an example. I couldn't say it, but her husband comes around from the side, RKO off the top rope, and goes, ladies and gentlemen, my wife. A simple answer from a man, overcomplicate.
The truth is that most women are attracted to their form of masculinity, which masculinity to women typically leans more conservative. It just does. Because if you really thought that y'all were absolutely equal, then you would split everything equally. That's 50-50, but y'all don't want to do that. You all don't actually want liberal men that really believe that you are their equal, because then they're going to financially treat you like you're equal. But you don't want that. You don't want them. So you're either going to make it work with a more conservative man who is willing to pay for everything and not hold you accountable in those ways, or you are going to find someone who wants to hold you accountable because they actually think that they're your equal. Pick a side.
You alright? Yeah. You really just fall down that? Yeah. I'm good. You alright?
This is proof that men will literally do anything, include come back from the just so his girl doesn't get the ick. A dude could literally take a right hook to the chest from Mike Tyson and walk it off like nothing happened just to impress his girl. The things men do for women.
Dating when you have a kid is weird because people think that you're trying to make them a step parent. Hello? Have you seen the way that you act and the way that you live? Baby, I'm just trying to smash. There's no way. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get you involved for real. Babe. Oh my God, look at you. You thought I would make you a parent? It's gonna be a hell no for me, baby. It's a hell no for me. I'm just trying to smash.
A man's heartbreak, you can't even fathom the heartbreak of a man when he loves a woman and she breaks his heart. Because we can't turn our love on and off like a woman. Most men never recover. They don't recover. But women do. Woman, she don't love like that. Her love is different. She loves like water. It evaporates over time.
And you know, there was a conversation between a guy and a woman where she was talking about essentially men don't really like boss babes, right? They don't really appreciate a successful woman. It's not that. It's that, like he was saying, in a relationship, it doesn't really serve you, right? You're wanting the man to take charge and be the leader, but a lot of his effort is going to go, it's going to be wasted. So essentially, you know, if you're in a woman that is always on the go, dinner at 8 is probably not going to work for her, right? I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm doing. So you're going to be mobile. So you're going to switch it and you're going to say, okay, as a, you know, a man that's successful is going to be hard for you. You're going to want that man to come to you. And that man, if he's as successful or more successful than you, because that's what you're wanting, he's probably not going to be able to go to you. But he can send you some dinner and say, okay, here's, you know, I got you something to eat to make sure that you're eating. But modern women, what they're going to want is that successful man that's more successful than them to stop what he's doing in his schedule and come to them. And they're not willing to do it for the man. That's what he's saying. Well, you know, and I think she said something to the effect of, well, you know, you know, it doesn't serve you. And he was like, well, it doesn't serve you either. That's what I'm saying. Y'all are going to want a man to act in a certain way and to behave in a certain way and to completely cut out his schedule of making money and providing for you. But you're not going to want to do that. Even if you cut it down the middle and say, okay, why can't we both do that for each other? Then you're going to accuse him of not taking your career and your ambitions and your goals and your purpose in life seriously. A successful man, the successful man that you want, has to completely stop what he's doing. Oh, it's a thought behind it. Exactly. And it's a thought behind it when you need to do it too. So it's your turn to pay for dinner. Successful woman, it's your turn to stop what you're doing. Come over and have lunch with me. Come over and have dinner with me. It's your turn, because I did it last time. It's your turn to fix dinner. Oh, well, you know, you're going tit for tat. You want it to be back and forth. I've cooked dinner for about a month. I've gotten dinner for about a month. I figured out a way to put dinner on the table with me, you, and the kids for about a month. It's your turn. You can't keep on making up excuses and, well, you just don't like me. You're threatened by my success. You're intimidated by it. You think that I'm going to catch up to... No. You're not holding up your end of the bargain. It is your turn. We can talk about a whole bunch of other nonsense and we can go round and round in circles. Let's shut all of it up. It's done. Hold up your end of the bargain. Do your end of the work. You don't want to do that. You just want to be free to focus on your passion. You want to be able to do whatever you want to do, and you want the man to back you. You want the man to sponsor you. It's your turn to do some of the work. Period.